All right, Lisa. Looking at those images and listening to that opening statement, does it sound to you like Brett Hankison was indeed shooting errantly in the apartment? He's not even in the line of fire, as the prosecutor said.
That's correct. And when you don't have a sight line as to where the threat is, you think you heard it, you move over to the side because you were dealing with a distraction, which was a neighbor who was upstairs. Then you pulled over to the side of the house, to the apartment. And now it's my understanding that he shot through a window in the direction of that hallway. Regardless, there could have been occupants in that house who were surrendering. And again, you don't know where that bullet was going to go if you don't have a backdrop and you don't have a target. So that's what I wanted to see. That was the goal here, to find out whether or not he was actually in the line of fire and he had an exchange after the first officer was shot, or if he had gone off to the side, which he explained, and then shot through a window, and a window that's got curtains and there are distractions and it's dark inside, then that would be the criteria for wanton endangerment.
It certainly sounds like it. Lisa, I'm also curious about your opinion on the style of this prosecutor, Barbara Whaley. She is methodical. She has her laser pointer out. She's going through things bit by bit, laying the groundwork for the case, but taking her sweet time with it. You'll see when we watch the clips from the defense attorney, it's a lot quicker, a little bit more action-packed. What do you make of this style, and what do you think the jury will think of it?
Well, I enjoy it. Anything that's methodical. I'm former police and military, so it makes sense to me. And I like the idea of explaining to the jury, giving them a full scope of what the police officers are going through, what they're enduring, the positioning of everyone in line, and why they made the decisions that they did. And I think it's extremely important.
It certainly is. Time for a quick break for us. Keep it right here on Law and Crime. Okay, let's welcome in our second guest. Joining Lisa Lockwood is criminal defense attorney Adam Conta. Adam, so nice to see you. It's interesting that Stu Matthews said that because of chaos, we will hear different stories. Lisa, let's start with you and then we'll get to you, Adam. I imagine police are trained to deal with chaos. Based on your experience, what do you make of this defense?
Well, in a search warrant, it is methodical, everything that you're going to do, even from the time of night, with hopes of not having a lot of people around and passerbys. But when you're in a condensed area like an apartment complex like that, and you hear pounding on the door, it's going to alert the other neighbors. And so that's a risk that police officers take. So a neighbor did actually come out of the apartment. You've got a lineup of police officers who are about to go inside an apartment with guns drawn, and now you have to make sure everybody is safe. So yes, that type of distraction does happen, and you are prepared for it. Somebody may need to fall out of line to address the issue of keeping the public safe, and that was the case in that situation. And then somebody had to take his place in order to get in the line to continue with executing the search warrant in a proper and safe way. So yes, occasionally there's chaos, and we do everything, people on those teams, SWAT teams, to be safe in the entry, as safe as possible.
Or at least they very much should. Very interesting. Lisa, there will be testimony about Hankison's training. Is this something that's going to help or hurt the defense's case?
Trainings like this happen all the time with a SWAT team. I've been involved in trainings like this and no-shoot situations where police officers make mistakes, and that's where you need to make the mistakes in training. And it's done monthly. Sometimes it's done weekly, depending on jurisdiction. So that will be important regarding how are you trained regarding your visibility? What did you see? Because you better, the end of that gun, you better know what's at the other side of the end of that gun before you start firing. What is your backdrop? That's the biggest thing that we learn in training. And what I saw prior to this case, when the news was out, was that he fired through a window. So still, I don't know if that was the case. Did he fire through the window when he went off to the side of the house? Or did he fire during the fatal funnel when the exchange was still happening? Well, there it is. It is the window. That's what I saw prior to. And the backdrop wasn't there. So I think based on that, through a shade where you have no idea what's happening, you are endangering people's lives.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it. That picture is pretty damning there. We have to take a quick break. When we come back, we will be live in the Hankison courtroom. Stay with us. Okay, while we wait for that next witness to come in, I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about the order of these witnesses. We have another detective coming up next. Lisa, why do you think that they are ordering them in this way?
actually don't know the reasoning. Obviously, they're the first witnesses. They're the people who were there in the action and in the thick of it. So, I mean, that's the only thing that I could imagine is get the firsthand accounts of what happened with the witnesses who actually were part of it.
Yeah, okay, and it looks like he's now on the stand, so let's head back into court to see what he has to say.